Hi, Taurus. Welcome to my tarot table. My name is Ginger, and uh, I did this with Cancer's reading too. I forgot to record. I usually have it on automatic record, and I didn't do it this time. So here we go. I'm going to redo your reading. I have all the cards laid out. Um, I used a couple of different oracle decks and then the tarot and a couple more oracle cards. The first card I got out, let me just say, this reading is for the consciousness of Taurus for the month of July 2025. It is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you like the videos, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe and maybe leave a comment. I would appreciate that. It helps to grow my channel, especially the likes, the subscribes, and the comments. Okay? Thank you for that. It's for free and for fun. All right, Taurus. So I received the Wisdom card as the first card out of the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And I'm saying that you're doing a deep dive. This is about your emotions. And it's time for you to do a deep dive. Here is a mermaid, and I think that's supposed to be you doing a deep dive. And look at the water. So I'm looking at this, thinking of the unconscious, going for a deep dive because that's all of our emotions are in the water, and our unconscious is constantly giving us signals and symbols to express what's happening in there. And yeah, so it's time to do a deep dive. I believe that you are having some it's a time for actually, Taurus, for you to become a little more self-aware. We go through stages in our lives where, we know ourselves and we feel confident and we know what's going on and we're communicating well and things are going well with our friends, our families. But then things will change. People, places, things change, and we change. And we need to spend some time discovering, who am I today? I mean, 5 years ago, I was this person, but people, places, things have happened and things have changed. I'm sure I have changed, although maybe Taurus doesn't think so. But I think, Taurus, you recognize that you have changed because things have changed. And it's time to go in deep for that deep dive to find out what's new and different about you. And what I'm going to say is, see how beautiful that card is? Doing a deep dive on you, Taurus, is not going to be a terrible place to go. But I think we're always so afraid of what we're going to find when we do that deep dive. And you know what? There may be some mud there, but most of all, it's clear water. Once the mud is allowed to settle, then the water becomes clear and we get a clear picture of what's going on. The next card that came out is the Halls of Learning, Spirit Guides, Confirmation, and Great Lessons. So this is an opportunity for some great things to be learned about yourself, about how you've changed. How do you feel about the things that have changed in your life? Um, really taking a good look at that, because this is going to affect how you move forward. And I'm sensing a little frustration, um, some anger at not being able to express yourself in a way that you are understood. That maybe whoever let's say it's your partner, your friends, for some reason, people are just not getting you. Why is that? Well, the halls of learning, when we astral travel, when we're dreaming every night, we astral travel, and we go to the halls of learning, or to our spirit guides' halls of learning. For instance, my spirit guides, I have two. I have many, but two happen to be Saint Germain and Hilarion. Saint Germain's halls of learning look a little bit like this, not so gold, but it's the white light. It's the beautiful white light and the columns and the archways that I can relate to. And I go there and I learn things. as a student of Saint Germain's. And these things are what is in my unconscious, or what is in my unconscious that I need to bring up, take a look at, and decide. A friend of mine says, recognize, accept, investigate, decide. So are there things in me that are, maybe I'm resentful or angry, or like feel like I didn't get the break I should have gotten, or whatever, or maybe I'm feeling jealous for some reason, and that's not, that's not who I am. I don't feel jealous. Well, you are right now. So what is it? What has changed in your life that is bringing up these feelings for you? That's what the halls of learning for, and that's what that deep dive is about. Archangel Metatron uh, comes through and says, fly free, fly free. So what this means is, I'm going to read from this book. My friend Jody Lynn Robbins painted the paintings for this oracle deck, and channeled the messages for the deck as well. And I'll put her information in the chat if you're interested in taking a look at her deck. I also did a reveal of the deck a couple of months ago, so you'll find that on my channel. So fly free, Archangel Metatron. You have what it takes to go the distance. There are no insurmountable obstacles, only fear and doubts that may hinder your progression. Rest assured, you are always being protected and guided. And by pausing and reflecting, you will find the answers you seek. This is an extraordinary time for you to reach new heights and go after the dreams you have held near and dear to your heart. It is in the moment of release and surrender that fate steps in and swiftly moves you on to higher ground. Pause now before you let go and give thanks for the people, circumstances, and even the challenges that brought you to this brink of realization. You've had the power all along, but now you will see the magnitude of the strength you have accumulated through adversity. This gift is what will lead you to the fruition of your hopes and wishes. Let go, my friend, and fly free. How true this is in this reading. This reading supports these three oracle cards that came out. So let's start with the tarot reading. So the sense I'm getting just from those three cards is that I'm sensing a communication issue, and communication issues come from when we are not self-aware, when we maybe we don't want to accept some things that have occurred. And maybe that's the best option, is just to accept and surrender. So accept and surrender. But if we're not self-aware, we aren't really willing to accept and to surrender to anything. No, we're going to be fighting, right? We're going to be putting the boxing gloves on and fighting, because we're looking outside of ourselves rather than inside of ourselves. All right, so that's the message I got from those three cards. Your energy, your situation right now is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of very hard work, dedicated, committed work to something that you really love to do. You really love to do. You're trying to perfect something. I'm going to say the object of the perfection is knowing who you are today, not 5 years ago, but who you are today. What do you really want? What do you really want? What would you really love to have? If you could have anything, what would it be? What things would you love to have in your life? Would it be to be able to communicate openly and easily with my partner and my friends? Well, maybe that comes from being honest with yourself. What do you want? What are you seeking? What are you looking for? What would bring you fulfillment? Well, I know collaboration is one of those things, and this is the card that crosses you for good or bad, crosses your situation for good or bad. I'm going to say it's very good. You are a good collaborator, Taurus. You are an excellent collaborator. I'm going to say, on the surface of things, when you're, say, people you don't know that well, or with people at work, you're a great collaborator. But when it comes to your emotions and those people you are emotionally attached to, it's a lot more difficult for you to be that collaborator. This is the card at the bottom of the deck that points to the reason the reading is taking place, and there's arguing there. It's not, it is the kind of arguing that happens when we don't know what we're really arguing about. Am I arguing about the fact that you don't put the cap on the toothpaste, or am I arguing about something else? Am I saying words like you never and you don't and blah blah blah, things like that? That's not about the cap on the toothpaste. There's something underlying that. So what needs are not being met? And that's what this is about. In your recent past, you have the Ace of Wands, a gift to you of passion. You're passionate. Maybe your passion is showing up as anger, but I bet that your passion is also showing up as something needs to give here. And you know what? What needs to give is your willingness. You need to be willingness to go within. You need to be willing to get clarity on what is happening here. It takes two to tango, so it's not all your fault. It takes two. But what is your part? What is my part in this? Am I not being clear with people about what I would like to work toward? Is that what I'm not being clear about? Um, am I not being clear about, okay, I would like to work toward this with you, and these are the steps as I see them. Are you working together to work towards something, or are you just kind of steamrolling through? This is this is where I want to go, and this is how we're going to do it. That's not collaborating, and I know you're a good collaborator. So that's kind of two different, two sides of the same coin. Okay. So you need to be clear with yourself. In your near future, we have the Hanged Man. I'm using the Way of the Panda Tarot, by the way. I haven't used it in a long time, but I love this little deck. The Hanged Man. This is in your near future. This is the halls of learning. This is the deep dive. This is the deep dive. This is really let go and fly free, surrender, relax, let go, because you have a lot of entities working with you. When you're here in the Hanged Man position, you're becoming enlightened. There's entities, energies out there that are bringing this information to you. They're leading you to go and meet with your higher self, to meet with your guides in the hall of learning, where when you astral travel, when you're dreaming, they're leading you to do this deep dive without fear. That being there, you are not, there's no fear there. It's as though you're flying through the water. You're just floating and going through very easily. It's a flow. You can do this. It's there for you. And if you let go and surrender, you will be taken to those places where you need to go, where you need to learn what you need to learn, what you need to know about yourself, how you have changed in your beliefs, your ideas, emotions, and your attitudes, and examining the resentments, the fear, the heartbreak that may be there. Okay. So next we have the Chariot, and this is your energy going into the future. This is your energy. Rather than being driven by two sphinxes, you have angel wings driving you. You are powerful here. You have the power. The wings are propelling you forward. So this tells me that you will make progress. This tells me that progress is possible for you, Taurus. That not only is it possible, but I really feel as though your guides are really working with you to bring it's like downloads. That's what downloads are, as though you're receiving downloads. And let me just say, when we're working with the unconscious and or the higher self, um, it speaks to us in symbols. So it may not be clear cut. So the dreams we have are symbolic. You may have a vision of, I had a vision recently of me walking into a room with a newspaper under my arm. And really, what that meant was this was yesterday's news. I need to throw it away because the room I'm walking into is today's room. I need to leave yesterday's news in yesterday. So that's a sort of symbol. Your guides are working with you to bring these symbols and to make sense of them with you. As you do this deep dive into seeing who you are today, life changes all the time. And within a 5-year period, I'm going to say life changes immensely. In 5 years, life will change immensely, whether we want it to or not. Next, in the energy around you, you have the card of give and take. Here's a family. They're giving and taking. Some are receiving, some are giving, depending on the situation. Mom and dad are usually the givers, where the children are the receivers. Um, but it's really give and take. As those children grow up, they learn to give as well, and they learn to receive. The give and take is really about your vulnerability, your willingness to be vulnerable. Because when I'm angry, when I'm resentful, I know that there's something going on when I'm jealous. I know there's something going on with me, and it doesn't feel good. And I certainly don't want to be vulnerable with the people I'm resentful or angry toward. So I need to figure out, what is the anger about? What is the resentment about? Once I work that out within myself and have clarity on that, then I am capable of being vulnerable. Because it's clear. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. So now I'm able to tell this. I don't need to tell the person why I got all angry, about my childhood or anything. I can just say, you know what? I'm clear with myself now. I'm clear. Um, I can be vulnerable, and I'm going to tell you why I felt so angry. It's because I wanted this and you gave me that. And there you go. Can we talk about this? That's vulnerability. Your guides are bringing that to you. The next card in your hopes and dreams, King of Pentacles. Well, this is your card. This is your card, Taurus, the big daddy of the money. However, for you, although this is definitely a card about material abundance and wealth, I feel as though this is also about emotional wealth, about I want to say that this guy's happy because he has money, but you know what? He's also a father, and he loves his family. Let's say he loves his family, so, uh, wealth is often about our love, about our ability to give and receive love, to receive affection, to give affection, to show our love and affection to others. That is wealth. That is wealth, because not a lot of people can do that. They're not capable. You are, Taurus. Your outcome is the Four of Wands. This is the card of setting a goal, determining what little steps do I have to take each day to achieve that goal. And you achieve it. And I just noticed as I was looking at this card, there's a V here. There's a V for victory. These are everybody getting the party ready, setting up the decorations and getting the food ready and that. So when you cross that finish line, they are ready to celebrate you. It looks to me as though you're going to be successful this month, Taurus, in this communication or self-awareness that you're being led to come to. I pulled another card, two cards, one from the Archangel. What is it called? Oh, the Archangel Metatron Self-Mastery Oracle. These cards are incredible that you have here. So, as I say, I can't make this shit up. Healing, pause to receive. Healing is pause to receive. That's the Hanged Man. Pause to receive. Don't fret. Don't force it. It is just going to come to you. It is just going to come to you what you need to know. how this works out is not going to have to be a big struggle. Something like this may have been for you in the past, but not anymore because you're getting downloads. That's the only way I can describe it. I finally, for the final card, I pulled a card from the Pixiekins deck, which has a picture of this funny rabbit called Sir Norval Munchington. And it says, escape the ordinary. And look at all the hearts there. Escape the ordinary. Escape the ordinary, fly free. Enjoy the ride, Taurus. Enjoy the ride. It's going to be a great month. All right. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.